同学们好，我是在大学教汉语的 Crazy 老师。Do you find characters hard to remember? Do you often mix similar looking characters? And do the characters just look so familiar, but you have no clue how to say them or even their meaning? So in this video, we're going to learn the best strategy to improve your Chinese character recognition and reading skills. Let's get started. So how to effectively memorize characters? So I have two basic strategies. One is to improve your memory by chunking. And how do we do this? We will find the patterns in Chinese characters by diving into the origin of Chinese characters. Let me show you what do I mean by chunking. When I was learning English, for example, the word memorize, I have to say memorize and just repeat and repeat and repeat until I remember the spellings. So chunking means that instead of memorize, MEMORIZE, 8 letters, I now have little groups like memorize. Memorize. Okay, now you only have 3 units to remember. And now with the increase of your vocabulary, maybe you just need to remember, memo and rise. Okay, memorize. Okay, now you only have 2 units to remember, right? So similarly in Chinese, now you see a character. Instead of reading it as the dian, heng, zhe, gou, the heng, the shu, and all the strokes, right? I can see different parts. Oh, I recognize this part. It's yan, it means language. And I say this part, oh, that's number 5. And then I see a kou. So now I only have to remember 3 units. So as your knowledge of characters increases, and then you can break it down into even bigger chunks. So now you only need to remember the yan and then the wu. Okay, so now when you think about, for example, yu, language, all you have to remember is, okay, the yan radical and then the wu, okay? And how effectively you can do this chunking strategy also depends on your knowledge of basic characters and radicals. 一个人做视频有的时候很累。如果大家喜欢 Crazy 的视频，一定要给 Crazy 老师点赞、评论、分享。The second strategy is to improve your memory by making it meaningful to you. And the most effective way is probably creating bizarre images. So you can start with basic examples. So I don't know what you see there. Maybe you see a tree, maybe you see a person, maybe you see a canopy, whatever comes to your mind, right? Whatever helps you to memorize this character, okay? If you're equipped with the knowledge of, again, basic characters and radicals, it will help you to create those images too. At the end of the video, I will also share some good resources to check Chinese etymology and doing exercises online to learn the radicals systematically, in addition to my video course. So in this lesson, I have 2 focus. One, the origin of Chinese characters, and then the importance of radicals, okay? And in the origin of the characters, I will also introduce you the main types of Chinese characters. And then we'll dive into the importance of radicals and eventually the resources. A lot of people think about Chinese characters as images is due to the influence of those early on characters, right? So if you really take a look, are they a picture? Yes, exactly. So Chinese was very, they call pictograph. That means how do I write the character for person? Oh, I just draw a person. Originally, it was just like a picture. The earliest characters were found on animal bones, like the here you can see like turtle bones. And at that time, it was used for predicting the future, right? So you write some characters on it, you throw it into fire, and then based on the way it cracks, they can predict the future. But how those picture like Hanzi or Chinese characters evolve over time into those square looking characters. So here is a good example of how the word horse, 马, evolve over time into today. In simplified Chinese, you see this 马, and in the more traditional Chinese, you see this version. And the most significant time was from Li Shu. Okay, so before Li Shu, it's more picture-like. And after Li Shu, it's more towards really square-looking characters. This is why today you can't really guess the meaning of all the characters by just looking at it. All those different scripts throughout the history, some people are still using it in calligraphy. So this is a very famous essay written by Wang Xizhi, presented in different scripts. Hey, you may ask, how is the origin of the Chinese characters relevant to my reading skills? Well, now we will have to look at how characters becoming more and more sophisticated. So today we mainly have 4 types of Chinese characters. And the first one, 象形, pictographs. That means those are still kind of have the shape from the early on, right? The pictures you saw, like this little fire here, the moon and the sun, right? So those are original pictograph and very simple characters. And these are only like 4%. And then we have this type, 指示, and they say they're self-explanatory, okay? And this 指示 characters are built upon those pictograph characters, okay? You have all the simple characters now, and then what do? So take the fire as an example. You have fire here. Now I just simply add a stroke onto the fire, and now this character means to put off a fire. And then this is similar. So you have a 1, and then you put something on top. So this is up. And then you have, let's say this is a line, and now you have something down here. So this is down. And then we have 会意. About 13% is 会意. And 会意, they say, is associative compounds. So that means now we have those simple characters here and there, right? And I'm going to combine them to create a new character. And when I combine this new character, I'm going to involve both parts. So for example, this character here is Ming. And Ming, in this case, originally means bright. And how can we show bright? Let's get some sun on the left, and let's get some moon on the right. And similarly, for the character 家, home, you have a roof on top. And then you have a piggy at the bottom. How does that represent a home? So pig, obviously, even historically, was a main animal, right? So under each household, there's a pig, and that's a home. The most common type of Chinese characters is the last one, 形, 声, pictophonetic. I'm still using the 形 from the pictographs, right? And then the other part, I'm using the 声. So you may notice in this category, you can find like lots of characters. They all share this one like part. And then they have very similar pronunciations. Why? Because they all have similar sound radicals, sound parts. And how do we differentiate the meaning? Depends on the other part, the 形 part, right? So take this word as an example. This is a 唱. And now I just add a little mouth, 口 on the left. So now it becomes to sing, because you sing with your mouth. And similarly, you have the 歌 for brother. Add a little bit of breath. And now it becomes songs. But how do you know all those meaning of, for example, this is a breath, this is a mouth, this is a fire? Well, that's the radical you have to know. So the more basic knowledge of high frequent radicals that you are aware of, this will help you to decode characters that you never seen before, or to help you memorize the words that you often confuse one with the other. After you learned Crazy Lao Shi's course, you're gonna have a much better idea of reading Chinese characters and understanding what you're reading. And how are we gonna learn them? It's gonna be fun. So each lesson, we're gonna start by review, and then we're going to introduce 3 radicals where you're gonna learn the Asian form, the radical form, the examples that's relevant to this, and also an idiom that's related to the radicals. And also I have designed different exercises to help you to memorize the meaning and the implications of those basic characters. You want to start learning already, right? So I have 2 resources. One is if you're just very interested into the etymology, the origin of every character in Chinese. So you can go ahead to this website and type in the character you're looking for. And then you're going to see all its past, how it evolves, from the Oracle Bone period to the current period, and so on. The only thing is it's all in Chinese. So you may need some extra help to use this website. And then this one, this is actually a book that I used to build on this course. It's by my professor in University of Iowa, and also very good textbook for learning the Chinese radicals. But what I'm recommending you today is the free online exercises that you can do on this updated websites. Okay, so if you go to this website, you are going to see actually the list of radicals I'm going to teach you. And not only this, you can also do exercises on them for free. Okay, so hopefully you can take good advantage of those tools and getting to know Chinese better. And if there's anything about radicals I haven't mentioned yet, just leave your questions in the comment section. Feel free to share any other strategies that you use. And I look forward to see you in our official lesson for the Chinese radicals.